So right now I'm going to go over the animations that PowerPoint has to offer. And currently I've already created a text box selection called Be Creative. This of course I can edit as I want, just like any other text box. I'll go over more detail on how to do that in a separate video. But what we're going to focus on is how I can make this subject become an animation. Simple enough, just if I click on the text box region where the dotted lines are, click on that, I've pretty much highlighted this selection. So this subject, this entire subject, Be Creative, is going to be affected by the animations that I choose. So up here at the Animations tab, which is already selected, I have several different options to choose from. And as I mouse over these different options, my subject is affected. So if I choose wipe and I just moused over it, the wipe effect occurs. The one that I'm going to more or less want to utilize is the grow and turn effect. So I'll click on that, and now the grow and turn effect is highlighted for that subject, which is Be Creative. And you'll see that a number appears right above the subject. And that number, of course, in this case is 1, because this is the first animation that's been applied. Now, as you add more objects into your canvas, your PowerPoint slide, you'll be able to add more animations. And if you look over here to the right, I've already got what's called an animation pane. Let me close this out and show you how I got it. So up at the top, inside of the animations ribbon, at the right hand side is the animations pane. Just click on that and you'll have this important pane show up. This is what essentially shows you a timeline for your different animations to occur. So whatever's first is going to occur first, second, etc. Now as I add more animations into this, we'll have more or less a good concept of what's going on. So let me go ahead and insert a shape. So I'm going to go to Insert tab, click on Shapes, and I'm going to choose a 16-point star. And let me drag it out to create the shape. Let me format that shape so that it's not blue, no fill. Line color, I want this to be black. And you'll see that I have 2 dots here. I have 1 dot for rotation, that's the green dot right above the subject, and another dot, the yellowish diamond dot. That one is, if you click on it and drag it down, that actually pulls in the separate points into a finer location in the center. So I can pull it out and pull it up to kind of make a circle if I wanted to play around with that. So I'll make more or less a fine-tuned point for my rigid star. And let's say for whatever reason you want to add another shape, we can compound 2 shapes on top of each other. So I'll create another star icon, maybe something about the same size. And yet again, I'll format the shape by right-clicking and choosing Format Shape, and I'll go to Fill and choose No Fill. Line color, choose color as black, and close. I'll throw these shapes on top of each other, so placing them on top, and just like we did with the 16 star, I'm going to pull down on the yellow icon to make it a finer tuned star. And let me adjust the object that's above, or in this case, looks like I'm adjusting below. There we go. I had to select it. And it's not perfect, but if I spend a little bit more time on this, then it will adjust properly. Anywho, once you get your 2 stars together, it should kind of line up and make a pretty image like this. So I had to refine the shape. Once you have that, now you have your stars and shape. You can highlight both just by left-clicking and dragging over these 2 different objects. And now we can go back to the Animations tab. We can make them swivel, float in however we want. So I'm going to choose more effects underneath this selection here for the various rows. And I'll choose spin. And as you see, the spin effect occurred, and it occurs for both of these objects that have been highlighted. And let's say I want to draw out Be Creative. Well, this is a pretty neat tool that you can use. All you have to do is continue looking around, or you can select more, and you'll have all the different options available to you. And the one that we're looking for is underneath the motion path selection area. So we're going to choose Custom Path. And right now, both the objects are selected, 2 and 2. Those are the two highlighted regions. And if you look in the Animations tab, they're already highlighted. So whatever's highlighted in the Animations tab is going to be affected by this effect that I'm about to put in. So wherever I start my motion, which is where I first left click, is going to be the beginning of this line here. So I can click and pretty much click each point as I want to more or less draw out my path. And if you hold down the line, you can actually, with the left click, if you hold that down, you'll get a pencil icon to appear. And this more or less gives you the ability to free draw rather than being restrictive with just inserting straight lines. So for the most part, it doesn't have to be perfect, just drawing out a diagram here. And then after that, I'll just have it show up around the dot and swivel a little bit. And once you're done, all you have to do is click Escape on your keyboard and it'll show up there. So now you have your path that's drawn out, and that's how fast it's going to appear for this custom path. Of course, if you want to control the duration of that animation, simply go up here to the Animations tab yet again, and you'll see that there's a start time, a duration, delay, etc. Whatever's highlighted right now is these two subjects, and if I click on them, that selects the various items that I want to highlight. Let me hit Control and select each item. That way I can change the duration as I want. And after that, click on the duration icon up here. 2 seconds is currently selected. Maybe you want something like 5 seconds. So I'll insert 5 seconds there. And now, if I click on play in the Animations pane, you'll see the effect that I've created. So this, in a nutshell, is more or less how you can control your animations that you add. And of course, you can change the numbering system. You could drag each of these items around as you wish, and as you do, and you'll see what happens with what animations in what line. We probably wouldn't want to use this, but it's a simple fix. You can just drag and carry things over as you wish. Well, that pretty much concludes dealing with animations. There's obviously more things that you can do with animation. It's up to you to play around and see what you like.